In 1968, the Beatles released Revolution, which was the B-side to the Hey Jude single. Now, Revolution is a high-energy, guitar-driven song that conjures up a hard rock feel with those prominent, fuzzy-sounding, distorted guitars. And they achieved that sound by plugging their guitars directly into the mixing console, which created that distinctive, distorted tone by overloading the channels. Now, when you talk about the Beatles' Revolution, you just gotta talk about that memorable guitar intro. And here's a really cool quote about the intro by rock and roll historian Richie Unterberger. The song begins with a startling machine gun fuzz guitar riff, and I think that sums up the guitar intro pretty well. But did you know just 14 years earlier, in 1954, guitarist-singer Pee Wee Crayton released a song called Do Unto Others that contains the very exact guitar intro. So let me play you the intro to Pee Wee Crayton's Do Unto Others real quick. And as soon as I start it, you'll notice the similarity right away. And friends, if you happen to dig Pee Wee Crayton's solo that I'm going to play for you, don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to play it in this video. But first, let me play you the solo. Check it out.
They say do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Well, I bet you're thinking to yourself, those first few seconds is totally the intro to Revolution, right? Well, friends, my name is Damian Bacci, and welcome to my back room here in sunny Tampa Bay, Florida. And in today's video, we're talking about Pee Wee Crayton and his guitar intro to Do Unto Others. But first, let's talk a little bit about the man behind that solo that I just played for you. Pee Wee Crayton was born in 1914, and he was one of the biggest stars in the West Coast blues scene. And his career really started to take off in the 1940s. And he had his first hit with a blues instrumental in 1948 called Blues After Hours that topped the R&B charts for 3 weeks. Now in 1954, which is the year the Fender Stratocaster was introduced, Leo Fender gave Pee Wee Crayton a Tweed twin amp and one of his first custom finished Stratocasters in bright red, which I believe later on, but not sure, became the Fiesta red color. So at that point in 1954, with Leo giving Pee Wee Crayton that guitar, he's kind of recognized as one of the first blues players to ever play a Fender Stratocaster. In fact, he used that guitar for more than 30 years. Now, it's also believed that in 1954, when he recorded Do Unto Others, that he used that Strat. And what that means is quite possibly the first Fender Stratocaster to be ever played on a recording. So now, let's talk a little bit about the Beatles' Revolution. Some may say that John Lennon committed plagiarism. And for sure, it certainly sounds like an outright quote from Pee Wee Crayton's Do Unto Others. But besides for the first few seconds, which are exactly similar, both songs do take completely different paths. And what I think happened here most likely is that John Lennon intentionally borrowed the lick to pay tribute or homage. He probably thought that the intro to Do Unto Others would work perfectly into Revolution, and it's just one of those things. I mean, it fits perfectly well. Revolution has got that old school Chuck Berry rock and roll type of feel. Now, some people say that John Lennon probably never heard of the song Do Unto Others before. And that could be possible. But they really sound so similar. They're practically carbon copies of each other. The delivery is the same on how it's played, the tenacity of both intros, it's just a carbon copy. I just can't help but think that there's some influence there. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. We are all influenced by somebody. That's how music works. We all take a little bit from each other and add it into our own stuff. So tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think that John Lennon borrowed that intro? Or do you think it's just mere coincidence? I think it will be a fun discussion. Now, before I show you how to play this solo of Pee Wee Crayton's, I'd just like to mention if you're digging this style of old school guitar playing, I have a great full-length course on jump blues guitar called Good Rockin' Guitar. That's available on my website at damianbacci.com. All of the lessons come with PDF file guitar tabs and backing tracks. And the course is available as a DVD or as a download. Good rockin' guitar friends will not disappoint. Alright, so let's learn this solo. Now we're playing in the key of B flat, and Pee-wee is mixing the major and minor blues scales to play this solo. So the intro starts off with some sliding double stops.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then we play it again. And then we continue playing the same thing, but we're changing it up a little bit, like this. And we're doing the same thing again once more, but we're leaving out the last two double stops, like this. Okay, so now we go to this lick, and I've seen others play it bending on the 8th fret of the G string, like this. And that certainly works, bending up, doing that full step bend. But I'm playing the lick, bending it up on the 9th fret just a half step. So let me show you how to play those licks with the tabs. And then the solo continues, and we're playing over the 5 chord now. And I'll play the solo all the way to the end with tabs. Let's do this. Now, when you listen to the solo that he plays in the middle of the song, he basically just rehashes the intro solo that he played and plays it in the middle. But on his second time around of the chorus, he does this cool little pedal point double stop that goes like this. Now that lick, I just can't help but think that there's another connection to the Beatles here. It could be possible that that lick inspired a part from Helter Skelter. I could be stretching it a little bit here, but here's the lick. You know, and then here's Helter Skelter. You know, you can hear the osmosis, you know, of maybe hearing this and then getting inspired to bring it somewhere else. Just something to think about. Well, friends, that's all the time that we have for today's lesson. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. And once again, if you're digging this style of old school guitar and you'd like to take your playing to the next level, I have a great full-length course on jump blues called Good Rockin' Guitar that's available on my website at damianbacci.com. And now, friends, I'd like to leave you with some inspiring words. When we dwell on the mistakes of our past, we stay angry, ashamed, frustrated, or even guilty. But the past is the past, and there's nothing we can do to erase it. Don't keep yourself stuck in a world of pain and regret. See the past as lessons that you've learned, and think about the present and your future story that isn't written yet, because your future is entirely up to you. And with that, friends, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Much love to you all. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon in another guitar lesson. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.